Hello all, it's Cam, and I've prepared a video today that details the Dragon Moss farm in Guild Wars. The purpose of this video is to explain what the farm is, why it is useful, what you will need to get started, and how to successfully run it. As with most things in Guild Wars, this is just one of many ways to do this farm, and isn't entirely optimized or flawless. This video is based on a build that was shown to me during one of my streams, and elaborates on how the build works, what you will need to get started, and some of the potential issues to look for while doing each run. The link to the reference video is provided in the description below. This video should serve as a basis for getting started with this farm. However, better ways may exist depending on your personal skill, comfort, or class availability. With that said, I hope you all enjoy the guide. Let's get started. The main reason for this farm is to gradually collect materials through drops, or by salvaging dragon roots for plant fiber, which is used to craft resurrection scrolls. However, the gold weapons that drop from this farm can be incredibly valuable if they have good stats upon identifying them, as all of the weapons that drop in this area of the game are old school, meaning that you have a limited or zero ability to change the stats that they come with. These weapon drops in particular are the motivating force for me. While the materials you gain from this farm provide a small, steady profit over time, the significant profit increases come from landing a nice weapon drop with desirable stats. This farm provides the potential for skins such as Guardian of the Hunt, Gothic Defenders, and Ekavald Shields, which are all highly valued skins for old school weapon collectors. Various conditions also determine the profit margin of this farm. To start with, the drop rate of all items largely determines your profit, but the drop rate for gold items has a significant impact on how quickly you can make gold from this farm. Whenever I farm, I try to do so when favor is active to improve the chance of gold weapon drops. Favor is an occasional blessing to the world that lasts for 1 hour and is applied once a certain amount of achievements have been completed by the player base. Check and see if the world currently has favor. Simply type /favor in chat and it will display how many achievements remain before favor is granted, or how much longer before favor runs out. In addition to favor, if a festival that drops items from enemies is active, this will further boost your economic gain from this farm. Festival drops often include items that are useful for endgame content and can be stockpiled and sold for sizable amounts of gold. This farm may not be the best in terms of kills per minute, but it is another viable way to farm these festival drops to assist in avoiding burnout from repetition of other farms. This farm is designed to farm Dragon Moss just outside of St. Angika's Shrine, which is located in the southern part of the Ekavald Forest. In order to get the appropriate enemies to spawn, you will first need to pick up a quest called A New Escort, which is given by Yuri Vasberg in Brower Academy. Once you accept the quest, the Dragon Moss that you will see later in this video will be present. If you do not accept this quest, or have already completed the quest, you will not get the Dragon Moss spawns that are farmed in this guide, and will need to either pick up the quest or use a different character to successfully complete this farm. Once you have the St. Angika's Shrine outpost unlocked, and the quest from Yuri, you'll be ready to gear for this farm. This particular guide focuses on using Ranger as a primary profession and Assassin as a secondary profession, even though this farm can likely be done on a multitude of other classes. If you wish to use a different class or build for this farm, you may want to consult other guides or resources to determine how your approach to this farm may vary. For Ranger, this farm is very quick and easy if you have the proper build and gear. For your build attributes, you'll want to invest 12 points into Expertise, 12 into Shadow Arts, with the remainder into Wilderness Survival. As for the skills, you will use Serpent's Quickness, Shadow Form, Viper's Defense, Shroud of Distress, Dark Escape, Ebon Escape, Death's Charge, and Whirling Defense. If you do not have Ebon Escape unlocked, you can replace it with any other skill that you desire, as it is only used for a jump to an NPC at the start of the run to increase the farm speed. Once you have the appropriate attribute distribution and skills, you will need proper gear to survive the Dragon Moss attacks. The gear for this farm mostly utilizes the same gear that I use on my Manted farm video. You can make changes to the gear or run the exact same gear, and this farm will work either way. For those who have not seen the video, I will go over the gear here as well. For your armor set, you will want to run a full max armor set with a +1 expertise headpiece. On all of the gear, you will run Blessed Insignias, which provides additional armor while under the effects of an enchantment. For the runes, you will want a superior expertise rune for the headpiece, and the highest vigor rune you can afford, with remaining slots filled with Vita runes. As you may notice, I have a major wilderness survival rune in my gloves, which is primarily used for the Manted farm. If you reuse your gear like I do, that does not make a big difference. But if you want to be as safe as possible, you may consider grabbing an extra set of gloves to use in place of the pair with the appropriate Vitae rune in it. As for the weapons, you will want to run a caster's sword, axe, or spear, which will have a +5 energy inscription and 20% enchant increase mod on it. The shield should have a +10 armor versus lightning damage, and a +45 while enchanted mod, or a flat +30 HP mod. Another thing to note is that I have found success with this farm by reusing my manted farming shield, which has a +10 armor versus piercing and +30 HP mod. So the manted gear can be fully reused here if desired. However, the gear listed on this video will provide the safest farming conditions. Once you have the location, quest, build, and gear, you'll be ready to farm Dragon Moss and Drazak Ticket. If you are farming this multiple times, it is always best practice to anchor your spawn point by exiting to the farming instance, re-entering the outpost, and then exiting back out once again to the instance. In doing so, whenever you /resign to return to town, it will spawn you right at the gate rather than a random area in the outpost. To start the run, you will cast Dark Escape upon loading in and begin to run to the spawns. Use Ebon Escape if you have it to teleport to the priest to save on time, Viper's Defense once past the priest to teleport in the direction of the spawns once again. As you come up to the first Dragon Moss group, you will hug the right wall in an effort to allow them to move further to the left to avoid them. Before engaging the mob, you will use Serpent's Quickness and Shadow Form to protect yourself from the heavy hitting skills they will cast. You can use Viper's Defense off of the back right mob to draw their aggro, which serves as a good indication that you have their aggro if the skill successfully goes off. Once all 3 mobs are aggroed, you will run to the back corner of the ledge from where you came from to begin balling them. Once in the corner, you can hug the wall to the left a bit more to finish tightening the ball. When you are happy with the ball, you use Death's Charge to jump into the mob and immediately use Whirling Defense to begin damaging them. During this time you can cast Shroud of Distress for extra protection and block chance for increased damage. Then, Shadow Form once it is available. If Shadow Form drops, you will die here, so prioritize that skill above any other skill. The second cast will be just Shadow Form without Serpent's Quickness. A group of patrolling Warden may intercept your target mob, but this does not matter too much as Shadow Form will continue to protect you from them. Once all of the Dragon Moss are killed, grab your loot and /resign to reset the run. There may be instances where things don't go exactly as planned, whether it be a mishap on your end or a trickier spawn or enemy behavior. This build is flexible enough to allow for mid-run adjustments, and you can play it extremely safe by ensuring that Shroud of Distress is active prior to engaging the enemies. Since this farm is quick enough, you can apply Shroud of Distress immediately upon loading in, and then go about the run as normal. This provides extra protection if you do end up aggroing before Shadow Form is up, or if you need to run through the closer mobs to get to the further mob. Having Shroud of Distress up earlier also allows for extra time in balling the enemies or getting better positioned once you use Death's Charge to teleport to the ball. Another thing to note is that Whirling Defense can be cast while other skills are being casted, since it is an instant cast stance. The more you do this farm, the more familiar you will get with the skills and what circumstances to avoid that may add difficulty to each run. I hope that the information in this guide is helpful to anyone interested in learning how to do this farm, and I highly encourage people interested in farming to check out my Manted Farming Guide to learn another quick farm which is among my favorites. As previously mentioned, this video dissects an existing method which is referenced in the description below and aims to provide an additional explanation about the how and why behind the farm. In my personal opinion, this farm does not yield the highest profits. However, it does have the potential to strike it rich if one of those desirable shield skins drops with good stats. I'm a big proponent of adding multiple farms to your skill set to avoid burning out from running the same one each time. If you are curious about other ways to make gold in Guild Wars, please be sure to check out my gold making guide as well, which will provide you with even more ways to achieve your goals in game. I stream Guild Wars often via Twitch, and if you are interested in a more interactive platform to ask questions or watch gameplay, you can follow me at twitch.tv/camftw. As always, I welcome any feedback or questions that you may have. Be sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed it and would like to see more. Thank you for watching, and happy farming.